Yes, all my students. First of all, whoever is watching us on YouTube, can you please confirm if I'm audible to you over chat? Any one of you, can you please respond me back?
You are not audible in YouTube.
Yes, all my students. First of all, whoever is watching us on YouTube, can you please confirm if I'm audible to you over chat? Any one of you, can you please respond me back?
You are not audible in YouTube.
Okay, Mr. Prashant Gupta, thank you very much for responding back. So yes, many congratulations to all of you, all the 10 students who have got Centum, and technically you are all India total. Just hold on a sec. On YouTube, can you please confirm if okay. So congratulations to all of you, technically subject all India topper. 10 students in mathematics, and the names are starting with Shri Aditya, Rohan, Ruhi, Chandana, Shushma, Nidhi, Shreya, Srinidhi, Vedang, and Parth and Sabarshi. All of you, 10 students in mathematics, they have got Centum, and 2 students in science got Centum, and they are Ruhi and Shushma. So basically, Ruhi and Shushma, both in maths and science, you guys have got 100 on 100. Very good. Congratulations to all of you. So how you are feeling? I'll go one by one, starting with Rohan. Rohan, your first experience, how you are feeling today after seeing the result? You share your experience.
Yes, sir. So it's really hard to describe in words, but the amount of satisfaction that you get when you see the mark sheet is just incredible, because it's a whole year of hard work, right? And when you see that you've got more than what you've expected, it's just an immense sense of satisfaction. Even my parents were really satisfied, and my mom almost broke down in tears. And it was amazing, sir. It was really gratifying.
Great, Rohan. Good. Congratulations to your parents also. Yes, Srinidhi.
Yes, sir. I was actually pretty excited. Like it was, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I was really scared. Like I mean, right before you see your marks, you have that nervousness, right? But then when you see your marks, you just feel relieved and happy. And how do I say? I enjoyed my whole 10th grade, and I also am really satisfied with the marks I got. Pretty happy actually. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I can understand. Nidhi, your camera is still off. In the class also it was off and it continues.
Yes, sir. 1 second.
Okay. Okay, Shushma. In the meantime, Shushma, please go ahead. Tell your experience. Shushma, you are not audible. I'm sorry to say you are not audible. You have to unmute yourself first.
No, sir, I wasn't speaking here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Shushma, you want to speak out?
I think like they can speak first.
Okay. Ruhi, go ahead. Ruhi.
First, I'd really like to thank you and Shweta ma'am for this, because it has been a really epic experience, I'd say. Absolutely wonderful. So I'm feeling very happy at the moment. It's a very good feeling. So last year, when I used to see people getting 98 or 97 or something, I used to think that how people can actually get such marks. So actually getting it today is, I don't know how to say it. It's feeling really wonderful at the moment.
Great. Thank you. Vedang, share your experience, how you felt.
Yes, actually, it's feeling really nice. Like last year, I saw this interview of other students, like our seniors, and now me being in that is really satisfying. And like when I saw the number 100 on like my marks, it was really a very good experience. And like thank to you and Shweta ma'am Like she explained every topic until we got till the small details. So it's a really nice experience.
Great, great. Okay, Chandana.
Yes, for me too, it was really exciting when I saw the marks that it is 100 in maths. But I was expecting it because that was the amount of practice that Shweta ma'am made us to do before the exams. And I was sure that whatever ma'am had done, that would take, it was fruitful. And as Vedang said, even last year I had watched the live stream of the seniors 11th who were on this live stream who got Centum in maths and science. And I was thinking that one day even I should be in their position. And today that dream got true. Before I joined Sapiens, for me, getting 40 or full marks in maths was very hard. Like it was a dream, and now I got 100 in cbse board result. That's really good.
Great, great. I can understand. I can see, I mean, feel it out you. Yes, Nidhi. Yeah, Nidhi gone. Okay, Shreya.
Same, so all the feelings just combined. And like when I saw the marks, 102 subjects, I was just like, and same like last year when I was seeing these people getting 100, I used to be like, no, I can't get. It was just, and then now getting the marks, it's just satisfying this whole year, like the hard work, the consistency, and support you and Shweta ma'am gave is just immense. So just feeling very overwhelmed with joy.
Great, gracious. Now, Nidhi, are you available now? Okay, Shushma, now it's your turn.
Sir, it was not expected. I have to be honest, I did not expect I did not expect Centum in any subjects. And when I saw my result in the class today, I started screaming and I broke down into tears because 100 in math and science it's not easy, and so much hard work I did for it, and so much like you all gave so much support, and I was so happy. Then everyone started congratulating, and it was really good feeling, sir. And I have to say thanks to both of you and Shweta ma'am, because if it weren't for you both, I don't think I would have achieved this at all. I was not good at math or science, and I'm so happy. So thank you so much, sir.
Okay, great, great. Nidhi, finally, a final call for you now. Are you there? You were there before. Anyway, so online student, those who are watching us, and definitely you will have many questions in your mind how to prepare, and I'll try to cover all the questions. Let's suppose anything miss out, please put it on chat so that I can ask those questions to students and you'll get their answer. Okay, so now the next and very important question, next and very important question is, what is your message? What's your experience which you would like to share with your juniors who are going to write next year, and junior to junior, those 8, 9 students who are preparing for these exams, especially for the 10 students who are going to write next year. So please share your experience. I'll go with Ruhi first. Ruhi, can you please share your experience with all your juniors?
Yes, sir. So what I'd like to start with by saying, I'd just like to narrate one thing. So when I first started with the tests in Sapiens, there was this test on quadratic equations. And in that test, I got 18.5 out of 30. And I was absolutely shocked by my marks because I was not expecting that less. So the message is that things at the beginning, they are tough because they are a new concept. They will seem tough, but you don't want to get demotivated by that. So just keep in mind that in the end, you will have understood everything. So keep that in mind and keep on going with consistency and hard work every day. See, thing is, it has to be done every day. If you want to complete, say you want to go for 100 kilometers, you want to complete the distance, you can't say that one day I will run 50 kilometers and one day I will run 1 kilometer. If every day you divide that and you run every day, you will reach your goal, aram se. So basically, keep up the consistency and keep up the hard work. You may not feel like even doing things sometimes. I felt a lot like that. So you may feel like overwhelmed a lot of times. I have so many things to do. And sometimes you may feel that I have absolutely nothing to do, but you feel sort of vacuum. But just remember that that thing is always there. So just keep on working towards it with a fixed mindset. That thing is there, the boards are there, but I'm not going to be scared by it. I'm not going to be overconfident. Every day, I am going to continue giving my best. Even if I don't feel like, I'm going to keep some amount of a daily target, which I will achieve. And that's the way I'm going to progress.
Good, Rui. Thank you. Yes, Shreya, if you can share your experience.
Yes, sir. So first thing I would like to say for all the, ninth moving 10th people are mindset. See, because I know like 10th boards, everybody's like 10th boards, everybody is taking it so seriously and, they're so scared about it. And there's this taboo that it's so difficult. It's very hard to get 100. But believe me, throughout this year, what I've realized it's not hard. It's easy, but it depends on you. If you think it's hard, it's hard. Okay, whatever you think is hard is hard. I think mindset is all that it is, because see, now in the start, as Ruhi said, it is very difficult. I remember another test that I gave, I got really less in maths, and even I didn't expect that. But slowly I started improving. I started seeing what I can do to make myself better, what I can do to like kind of improve my yesterday self to make my today better. So that is very important, to understand what you're weak at. And it's all a rumor that you have to totally like be away from your phone and like totally away from distractions this 1 year. It's not possible. Like as humans, we will get distracted. It's not possible to completely like just desocialize and just like isolate yourself in one room. What you have to do is just keep in touch and keep track of what you're doing. And also before studying, always make a plan, because just randomly picking out subjects and just doing whatever, it won't work out that way. So just take small steps, as Rui said, 100 kilometers, that take small steps, but every single day put efforts, even if you don't feel like it. You have to, because you have boards. And don't think it's tough, it's easy. All of us are there at that position. And don't think you're alone. And whenever you're feeling depressed or demotivated, talk to your parents. That's the best solution to anything and everything. And yeah, that is my mantra to all this.
Okay, thank you, Shreya. Yes, Rohan, if you can put your points to your
Yes, sir,
juniors.
sure. So I think the biggest thing for me was self-motivation, because as the others said, at the beginning of the year, it was very intimidating. Many chapters, many different subjects, and a lot of new concepts as well. So I think being consistent and taking it in a stepwise manner, as Ruhi mentioned, was very important. And also we had online classes, so it was important to stay focused, and that focus came from being self-motivated. Instead of being afraid or intimidated, just keep it in your mind that it's your goal, it's your responsibility, it's your duty. So take it easy, but be self-motivated. That's one of the most important things that I could share with my juniors. And another thing that really helped me out was positive competitive spirit. uh, don't compare yourself to others, because they have very different experiences from what you have, but make sure that you keep in touch with your friends or other family members who are going through the same experience. See what they're doing and understand what you can do from them, and just see the do's and don'ts that they share with you as well. And as the others mentioned, it's very hard to stay focused all the time. So it's very important that you have a good balance between productive study hours and also leisure time, because eventually you will get burnt out, which happened to me after first term. And it's important that you take breaks, take it easy. It's not very difficult, as Shreya said. It's just about being consistent, having the right mindset, and staying positive throughout the year. And I think that's all I had to share with my juniors.
Okay, good, Rohan. Yes, Vedang, if you can tell me your experience.
Yes, so basically, I would like to tell that people, like when there's class 10 board, people spread rumors, study for 10 hours, study for basically studying for long hours with less efficiency. It doesn't make a difference. You have to study for less hours, like for an appropriate, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours a day. But in that, your efficiency should be maximum. The next is like the study material given by Sapiens is the key. Like in NCRT, they have not explained properly each concept, and even the number of questions is less. But in the study material, the year-wise questions or these things help a lot. Then at the starting of the year, like don't keep backlogs, keeping backlogs, then afterwards it becomes a burden. So, and just like study class, like go through class notes regularly, like study each concept after each chapter is taught, go through that chapter again. And mainly is doubt solving, like all the doubts at the same moment you have to ask, or else it might like be a problem in the exam when you're writing the exam. Actually, when this earlier, when the exams used to happen, like Sapiens tests, in that if I saw one question in which I'm not able to answer that question, फिर उस पूरा टेस्ट मेरा गंदा जाता, because I was not able to answer one question and it ruined my whole test. So this should not happen. You have to leave that question, do all of the other questions, and then come back to it. So
It's a good point, Vedang. You have put a very major point. One question should not ruin your entire exam.
Yes.
Otherwise, like one question maybe 2 marks, but you, because of that, you are losing 20 other marks. So that's a very major point you have put in. Yes, Chandana, if you can share your experience.
Yes, sir. My experience with Sapiens was really good, as ma'am was like very good mentor. She was teaching each and every point in the way that I could understand in a very easy manner. And also, I was like, for me, before I joined Sapiens, I used to practice a few questions before exam, a few days before exam, and give the exam. But after I joined Sapiens, I got to know that we have to solve questions each and every day. That's not that because that we do good in exam, but it will make us more confident, and it will reduce the exam stress that we get before exams. Even the revision classes which ma'am gave before boards were really helpful, as they increased my confidence level, and they made me like more confident, and I was relaxed during exam times. And also at this period of 10th, mental health is very important, as you feel depressed very fast. So I was concentrating more on being healthy, eating good food and drinking water, and also studying properly. Like uh, we can't study like 10 hours 5 hours continuously. People used to say me that before I entered 10th, and I used to think, okay, can people do that? But I understood that if we study efficiently even for 2 hours and solving at least minimum of 20 questions in maths and science both every day, will also make us get good marks in the exam. And last minute preparation is not helpful. We have to solve questions each and every day and make us prepared every day. And as everyone was saying, that chapter wise tests that ma'am and sir you were giving were really helpful. Even though I used to feel that whenever I used to get some less marks in some tests, I used to feel, should I even write the test once again? It to feel shy when the marks are represented in the WhatsApp group. But then we should take it in a positive manner, and we should be inspired by the marks, that we must score more good the next time we write it.
Okay, good. Thank you, Chandana. Good point you have made it. Yes, Srinidhi, if you can share your experience.
Yes, sir. I also had a similar experience as Ruhi. I mean, I have not gotten that much full in the Sapiens test, because I have made more mistakes in the tests more than the correct answers. I'm sure of that. But the thing is, you have to realize your mistake. You have to work more on it. And one more thing, you have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy, if you force yourself to sit and study something you don't want to at a time you don't want to, I'm pretty sure you could get distracted more easily. You should want to study that subject. I mean, you should really put in that effort to get good grades in that subject. And that's what I think. And also, you should really concentrate in the classes. One of the magnetic effects of electric current. I mean, I didn't attend the classes for that chapter. I thought I could study it on my own, but I couldn't. I lost a lot of marks in that chapter. Like whenever the tests were conducted, I couldn't get good grades because I didn't understand the chapter properly. Just studying from the book didn't, didn't make my concepts clear. So I could understand subjects only when it was taught by the teacher, and when you properly, the teachers tell you a lot of important points, right? Those important points will help you a lot in the test. So
okay, great. So Thing is, basically last when we did this webinar last year, I took a pledge. Then I asked all my students, this current batch students, that Centum we are getting every year, but we never got it in double digit. This you have created, this batch has created a history of getting Centum in 2 digit, and thanks to all my students, you made my dream come true. The Centum is in double digit. Till now we were getting in single digit. Now this is in double digit, and that was last year. If you can go through my video, I said that my expectation from the current batch, when you were watching it on YouTube, this interview, I asked you guys to please give me double digit Centum, and you did it. Thanks to all of you, from me, ma'am, and the entire Sapiens team, for giving this proud moment. Yes, now we can see Nidhi here. Nidhi, share your experience and share your experience with all your juniors, what they have to do.
Sir, first when we used to get a lot of homework, I thought it was kind of unfair. But later I realized that it really helps, because then you slowly start getting used to it, and it really helps. Like, it makes you more efficient, and you get, like, the problem solving helps in your like, when you solve a lot of the practice increases. So, and then I guess just stay calm the whole year. Like, at first there's a lot of pressure that you just came to 10th and you have your first board this year and all that, but don't get too pressurized about that. Just focus on your, like, the exams that are happening now, because if you focus now, it'll help you later along the way. And when the board comes, it'll just feel a bit like a normal, like one of your final exam. It won't feel like, oh, it's a board or something. At the end of the day, it's just one of the exams that you have to write. So yeah.
Good, Nidhi. Good, made a good point. So there are few very common questions which you also had last year, and again I'm asking from you guys, which definitely most of the students are watching us. Thing is, first thing they come, as Nidhi mentioned, that more homeworks and classworks and 150 question in a chapter Sapiens are making us solve. Is it really worth doing it? They always ask. Why in CRT we have hardly few questions there, and school also we are doing. So why 150, 200 questions? So I want to ask, this question is to Rohan. Tell me, Rohan, your experience of getting these many questions to solve. Will it work or will it not work? And if it works or does not work, please justify.
So in my opinion, it's absolutely useful. Because as Nidhi mentioned, when you get homework questions, it is pressurizing. But when you solve more and more questions on your own, like, you understand the concept in much more depth than you would if you just listen to the classes. And also towards the end of the year, we were given lots of sample question papers and lots of mock tests, and they were very, very helpful because it took the fear away from board exams. It just felt like another exam, that, similar to what Nidhi mentioned. And the more questions you do, the more exposure you get. And eventually, so I think it's beneficial to select some questions from the material. So let's say there are 100 questions, select about 50 or 65 questions for the first time. Then as you solve it, you understand which questions you're not that clear with. Clarify with that with your teachers, and then move to the next chapter. Now, when you're revising the second time, you must have left about 40 to 35 questions. Do those questions the second time as part of revision. So solving more questions is definitely beneficial, although it can be a bit pressurizing at the beginning of the year. So I think it is very, very useful.
Very, very useful. So your suggestion is that they should solve all these questions, and in revision again, they should solve these questions again, so that you can see where they are lagging. Correct? Which all questions. Okay, Shriaditya, can you tell your juniors how you did time management with school, coaching, coming for reading these, not only maths and science, but apart from maths and science, English, Hindi, and social studies, even information science you had. So how you did all this time management? Because students have this question, how to do time management.
Yeah, so since we had online classes for most of the year, I remember it used to get over at, I think, 2:45. Yeah, 2:45. And after that, we had class like coaching at 3:30. I think at one point we had from 3:30 to 7, I think. So I used to think, it's going to be really pressurizing. And it was actually, for the beginning part of the year, it was really pressurizing. And then after, like at 7:30, I used to waste half of my time thinking what should I study today. Like school mein there's so much, and then coaching mein there's so much homework. What should I do? It was really hard. It's going to be hard for everybody. Time management is really hard. It takes time to master it. But then slowly I got to know that, okay, fine, so today's school this is taught, so if I don't study it today I can manage it tomorrow. But what is important, I prioritize that. So I took math seriously, so every single day I at least like looked at the concepts of what were taught. Even though I didn't solve, if I didn't have time, I just looked at it. Okay, fine, these are the topics that was taught today. And I just went through the formulas once again. And for other subjects as well, for example, English, Hindi, I went through them. I made sure I go through every single day, whatever was taught that day. Because if you skip one thing, believe me, it's going to be very pressurizing the next day. You're going to have backlogs that you can't make excuses to yourself. It's going to be hard. And since it's online classes, I used to, if there's a class which is not like very important, I used to like write notes in between. Like I used to complete the backlogs in between classes. That's how you need to manage time, because you get assignments from school also. You can't sit and do that like, after coaching. You can't sit. You need self-study. You need time for self-studying. So after coaching, I remember first I used to divide it into segments. First, I used to do whatever was taught in school, and then I used to come to coaching. So like homework, for example, 25 questions. I used to do it slowly. And if, there were some backlogs, next day morning, I used to cover it up. I never used to keep backlogs. I didn't like keeping backlogs because somewhere in your heart, even while sleeping, you'll be like, okay, I have backlogs. No, I don't like it. I want to complete it. So even if I sacrificed some amount of my sleep, I made sure I finished every single thing that I had to do. And also for time management, planning is so important, because I remember not planning and just sitting, okay, aaj English tha, okay, I'll just study this. And then I end up being like, no, 2 hours is totally unproductive. And then I wasted my 2 hours, and that guilt used to kill me. So I used to plan properly. But by planning, I don't mean writing the time like from 8:15 to 8:45 maths. No, you don't do that. It's just like from 8 to 10 maths, from 8 to 9 maths, 9 to 10 science. Just make that in your mind. Don't write it down. You won't be able to follow it for sure. So that's how I used to do it. And even though like some days I used to not finish homework, so I used to say that, sir, I couldn't do the homework because a lot of other things were there. And I made sure the next day I completed it. So make sure you do whatever you have to do that day. Like try, give your 100%. If it's not possible, that's different. You can skip it to the next day, but next day also make sure you finish it. So that's it.
Great. Very good, Shreya. Ruhi, the question to you is, this is a very common question. Student says, in my school, this chapter is going on. At coaching, another chapter is going on. Which chapter to study? Either follow this. I cannot do both the chapters. So what a student should do? Tell me what you will suggest a student, because this is a very common question. And even I get calls from parents at school, they are doing some other chapter, at coaching some other chapter. Students are really puzzled what they should do. So please, Ruhi, put your point on this.
So I remember one time when we were doing in class in science, I think we were doing Human Eye and the Colorful World. And my UT2 exams were going on, and we had that on magnetic effects of electric current. There was something completely separate from my school exams and something different that we were doing in class. So how to manage? So it's basically like both of them are important. That actually what happens is that there is a period of time when you have a lot of work to do. Then after that, you don't have so much work to do. So I guess that when you have two things together, we have to make some time and handle both of them. Because in this case, getting less marks in the school exam is not good for my board results, and not understanding the concept in class, that is also detrimental to what I'm doing. So if I can separate some amount of time, if I designate a particular amount of time, say, let me plan. My school gives the exam schedules 3 weeks before the exams. So I know that my exams are there in 3 weeks. These are the chapters that are coming. So I prepare for that. Every day I prepare a little bit. And what is being taught in the class, in the online class in Sapience, that also simultaneously try to do it. See, Sapience was for subjects, science and math. Apart from that, I had 4 other subjects. So there was no problem in those subjects. So I only had to tally science and math together. So we can separate some amount of time, divide it into small segments, and we can handle both. So that's what I'm coming back again, is that at one point of time, there will be a lot of work. But at that time, if you can handle it a little bit, if you can stretch a little bit at that amount of time, then going forward, it will not be so tough.
Great, great. Thank you, Rui. Thank you very much. Next question is with Vedang. Vedang, tell me one thing. Student says that, okay, I did hard work, but because of that silly mistake, I lost that 5 marks or 10 marks. Instead of minus, I did plus. Since you guys were perfect for that 3 hours, how you manage that silly mistake, Vedang?
So actually, what I want to say is that we think when there's some exam and we make some silly mistake, we think it is a silly mistake. It is not actually a silly mistake. It is a result of less practice. The more you practice before exam, the less silly mistakes you do in the exam. So basically, the silly mistake thing, it depends fully on practice. If you complete all the homework, all the assignments, the amount of silly mistakes that you do will reduce.
Okay, great.
So
great.
that's what.
Good. Yeah. Now, Chandana, how that last few months mock exam which you were writing on Sunday helped you out?
So, ma'am and you conducted lots of mock tests before our exams. Many questions and many books were provided to us in Google Classroom. And we had to come and write it only offline, as you said. And that increased the confidence that was in me. We were actually suited to online writing of exams for 2 years due to COVID, and that decreased my confidence level for writing it in offline mode. But then taking tests offline also increased my confidence, and writing so many mock tests with different types of questions also showed me that there are some part of the questions which I knew the concept, but those questions were something which needed some extra practice, and they had to be seen as which were not in NCRT too. So they needed more workout for you. So I got to know more what I had to do before the exams, and also that reveals us from stress that we get before exams. Even though my friends who were with me in Sapiens, they used to not attend revision classes because they thought that it's useless, because we had to solve each and every question again from each chapter, and also we had to solve many questions. But then when we wrote the exam paper, I felt that the paper was more easy because it did not have so many complex questions which ma'am made us understand in the classes. But if we get prepared for easy mode, then when we see the paper, we'll get stressed that this is a bit complex. So we have to be prepared for the worst condition. However, the paper is, it's easy or complex. But if we are prepared, we'll be relaxed and we'll have that confidence that we have done our part of work. Now it's left to like some things don't depend on us. So the paper setter, how they have set the paper, but we should be done with what we had to do. We have to complete our part of work, our preparations.
Okay. Yeah, Shushma, tell me one thing. I have seen students telling that Sapiens conduct every week test. It's the same test again, repeating and repeating. Do you think that that chapter-wise test which we conduct is helpful in your preparation?
Yes, sir, it's absolutely useful because when we do a chapter in the class, when you explain the chapter and when we do the questions, we feel like this is so easy. Obviously, we just learned and all these questions are, we can easily do it. We get overconfident. And like if we didn't have any coaching or if we didn't have any tests, we would be overconfident until the exam. And in the exam hall, when we see different kinds of questions and we get stuck, in a question because we are out of practice, then we feel like we should have done a lot more practice. These chapter wise tests, they make you not forget a concept. And the way Shweta ma'am taught, she taught in such a way that you're going to remember it like for a very long time. And these concepts, when you keep revising the same chapter again and again, it's the like the concepts are just going to come directly in the exam. You don't need to think a lot. And these tests, maybe they helped a lot, like they're it's probably the reason that we all got Centum. So it's absolutely helpful. All these weekly tests, mock tests, we have to take it a little seriously, and we have to consider it like our own exam, and we have to study a little hard for that. Yes, sir, it's very useful.
Thank you, Shushma. Srinidhi, one very important question, like mathematics में the students have question to solve, so they will write it on notebook. I have seen students, particularly for science, they only read from book and not seeing them writing it. Will that be useful, or they should prepare their own notes and study from them? You can tell your experience how it was for you. So especially for science.
So I usually take notes because at the time of exam, it's more useful for me to study from my notes. I mean, it's short and it has all the points. I mean, so I would recommend people to take notes. And as for writing the answers, it's definitely better if you write down the answers, because just, reading the answer won't help you memorize it or help you understand it. But when you write it down, you can understand it better and you'll remember it better at the time of exam.
Okay, one open question to everyone, because this is something very technical question. How to prepare science notes? This is a big question, and students actually don't know how to prepare their notes. So anyone, just raise your hand who can put this point. How to prepare a notes for science? I'm talking only about science. Anyone can tell? Yes, Shushma, tell me, Shushma, how to prepare notes?
First, how you're going to prepare notes is when you read the NCERT. Whatever you feel is useful, just first highlight it in the textbook. Then when ma'am teaches the same concept or sir teaches the same concept in class, note down the important points, so that when you're like learning for the exam, your revision time is very less. You just need to just glimpse at the important points and you're done. You can easily score in the exam. And one more thing is, when you're writing notes, make sure that you can understand it in future.
Okay.
Because many times sir or ma'am or even YouTube videos, even if we watch so many videos, we can't understand a single concept. But when we explain the concept to ourselves, sometimes we understand it even better. And that happened to me. I understood a lot of concepts, like especially in science and social. I explained it to myself, and that's when I understood the concept. Yeah, this is what ma'am or sir was talking about. And the important points I again used to highlight in the notebook, so that when before exam I can just glimpse through the years to the names, and it helped. Like, this is how I did my notes.
Okay, yes, Rohan.
Sir, I think I agree with what Sushma said about NCERT. Many points from NCERT have been directly given in the exam, just copy and paste, and then they also justify or what do they mean by or elucidate or something like that. So NCERT is your primary focus, and once you read NCERT, you should select the important points and write it down in your notebook. And also, as she mentioned, it's very important that you write down your notes in the way you understand, so that even for future reference you can understand it. And if there's any concepts that's from outside the textbook, which are useful for competitive exams or just not mention the textbook, write it down and also leave maybe 2 or 3 pages at the end of every chapter, so that in the future when you're revising, you feel that there's some other important points which are not there in your notebook. You can edit that later on and add it on afterwards. And also, I feel like it's important to draw your diagrams in your notebook, because that helps you understand it faster. And if there's any acronyms or short forms which you can make on your own, to remember many things. For example, in science, there's many rules that we have to use, especially in magnetic effect. So make acronyms and short forms so that you can remember it very quickly, even during the exam, so that you don't never forget it afterwards.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rohan. Yes, Vidyut, please share your experience.
Sir, so basically my point, sir, if you're preparing for any MCQ point of view, sir, NCERT alone is not going to help you, right? So when you're going through any other competitive books, so what I did for my MCQ exam was I highlighted the main topic. Example, sir, we had Human Eye and the Colorful World, right? So we didn't So if you want to understand, you'll understand the concept if you read it once. That's enough. But for exam point of view, there's no point in really remembering each and every part of NCRT. I didn't touch NCRT for the first term, and I still got good. So basically, what you do, just highlight the main points. Example, twinkling of stars. So that comes under which phenomenon? Just remember that. So if you, for MCQ purpose, I'm telling. The subjective you will have to remember. You have no choice. But for MCQ, just highlight the main points. So that's what I have done for social and all. Highlight the main points. You can make your own point based on your understanding of that one point, and just read in one line. You can write on your own. So one point can form the basis of an entire paragraph.
Okay. So now a question to you, Shreya. Shreya, your aspiration, if you are there, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Your aspiration.
Sir, actually, I like maths a lot, and I think even physics, like slowly I'm like starting to like that. So I think I want to pursue engineering. I took PCMC, and I think after that I'll go for like research, and I also have like entrepreneurship in mind, and I also like artificial intelligence. So I'm still exploring, but as of now, engineering.
Engineering, your background. Okay. So Rohan, your aspiration.
So my aspiration is to become a doctor, because I think with the skills that I'll acquire during the courses and things, helping people and saving lives is very motivating to me. So next year I want to appear in NEET and then followed by MBBS, and I want to become a doctor.
Yes, very good. Yes, Vidyut, your.
Sir, still exploring options, but two of them are priority, sir. Sports management. So three actually: sports management, BCom, or CA. I have three options. I've not yet fixed on one. Over the course of time, I will.
Okay. Yes, Nidhi, your aspiration.
Sir, even I'm exploring my options, but right now I'm kind of focused on like software professional, because I'm interested in technology and like solving real life user problems.
Okay, great. Shushma, your aspiration.
Sir, actually, my parents, they, even though they never said it aloud, I think they really want me to become a doctor. But from like last 2-3 years, I had a dream career as becoming a detective or a investigator or CBI officer. So I did a little research about that, and finally I decided I'll become a forensic scientist. So that includes like medical also. That includes like my own aspiration also. So I decided to be that now.
Okay, great. Srinidhi, your aspiration.
So I would like to become a data scientist. I personally enjoy artificial intelligence, and well, the analyzing part it would be fun.
Okay, great. Vedang, your aspiration.
Actually, I want to become an engineer. So my goal for these 2 years is ZE. So I have to concentrate on that.
Okay, great. Ruhi, your aspiration.
So as of now, I aspire to enter the field of engineering. I especially like aeronautical engineering at the moment. So that's for now. I don't know what's going to change.
Okay.
But one thing is for sure, that for the next 2 years, I want to give my best on a daily basis. And whichever field, in the end, whichever field I choose to be in, I definitely like to make some contribution to that field in the best possible way.
Okay, great. Very good. Chandana, your aspiration.
So even I am aspiring to go for engineering field, as I'm very interested in technical things and software. So I wanted to be a software engineer.
Okay, good. So on a very lighter note, again, the girls are more crowning, making good masses. It's on a lighter side, but yes. Yes.
Sir, on an even lighter note, everyone are science except me, sir.
No, that's your choice, and science and commerce.
No, sir. So that's what, sir. This erases some stereotypes made by Indians that toppers only join science and failures join commerce. That is one stereotype. Right. Sometimes stereotype happens. That is changing now.
Okay. Great,
I'm an example, sir.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, and really all the best. Your dream come true. Everything will come, and we are always there to help you out at any point of time. And really, once again, you made us proud. Many of students are watching you. They would have learned something from you. Definitely, they will preach it in their life. They will at least 10%. They will take they will start practicing your tips, their definitely marks will improve, their marks will improve. And then it's not only about marks, it's about the career, making career good person. So definitely you will be, you never know. You, as Vidyut mentioned, last year he was inspired by this interview, and he thought that definitely I have to do very good, and see where he is. Similarly, there are many students who are watching you. They will take tips from you, they have already taken, and definitely they will practice, and you will be the motivating factor for them. Okay, thank you very much, and really enjoy your day. All the best. Do well, become doctor, engineer, scientist, CA, defense. May you go to defense, join NDA. Okay, there are a lot many flying careers. Okay,
Really, really thank you to you, ma'am, and Sapiens in overall for
Yes,
all the
sir.
support
Thank
given during these
Yes,
2
sir. Thank
years.
you so much to
Thank you
you,
so much,
Shweta
sir.
ma'am, and the
And
entire
Thank
Sapiens
you
team.
so much.
Thank you, sir.
thank you,
Thank you so much.
thank you very much. Bye bye, bye bye, good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.